So you going out with him then, or what?
Might be.
No, really though, Steve, are you?
I'm working on it. What's so funny?
What's so funny, Tony?
What's so funny, Aaron?
Tony, I need the aubergines now, so get on with it.
Thing is, she's out of your league, mate.
Yeah?
Michelle's more your line.
Hey, Michelle, what do you think about Stevie here, eh? Do you fancy him?
Oh, yeah. Like a plate of cold sits.
At least I don't throw up over the customers.
Steve, I was very ill.
You were very hungover.
True. But you've still got no chance with Janet.
And why's that then?
Well, for a start, she's not into men.
Oh, that's crap. Not everyone's a leather or a bloody puff.
Steve, I've told you before, don't call me a puff.
You are a puff, aren't you?
I'm gay, yeah, you know I am.
Well, some of us actually prefer it face to face.
I wouldn't want to be looking at your face when I'm doing it.
That'll be because you prefer them really young. Little boys.
You what?
Mind that little brother of yours, Michelle? You'll have Tony after him.
You bang out of order, Steve.
Oh, keep it down.
This idiot is calling me a paedophile.
I'm not interested in what he's calling
No,
you.
I'm serious, you need to...
Just shut up, both of you. If you two can't stop winding each other up, keep away from each other.
Oh, it's not about Tony being gay. I'm not prejudiced. I'll take people as I find them. But Tony's so gay, right? He's right in your face all the time, going on about his boyfriend and everything.
I don't think there's such a thing as too gay. I don't even know what that means. I mean, how can you be too anything in that respect? You know, I am gay. It's simple as that. I'm 100% gay. If that's too gay for him, then I'm sorry, it's his problem, not mine.
Homophobic. I wouldn't sort of class myself as homophobic at all. I'm not afraid of gays, you know. I mean, it's not, you know, like a disease you're going to catch or anything, is it, you know?
Steve, where's the lemons?
In the back passage, just where you like it.
Give it a rest.
What's the matter? Can't you take a joke?
You call that a joke?
Ooh, somebody's tired. Tony can make jokes, but he can't take jokes, right?
He doesn't like it when stuff about my personal life comes up in conversation. I mean, it's all right for him to talk about all these women that he supposedly sleeps with, but, you know, if I mention my boyfriend or something like that, it's like, we should see his face. It's like he's properly disgusted. I love you, right? Listen, what time are you picking me up tonight? You've forgotten, haven't you? Basically accused me of being a paedophile. I couldn't believe it. It was outrageous. I mean, why do people think like that? Just because I sleep with men doesn't mean I'm into little kids. Why should it? It's pure prejudice, you know what I mean? It's pure ignorance.
You know, he's like that. He's chipping away at me, making little comments about me. But then when I say something back to him, that's it. You know, he's talking about official complaints now, is he?
You what? Harassment? Tony's having a laugh.
Yeah, well, as the boss, I should have stepped in. I mean, he did step in, and he told them both to shut up and get on with their work, but he should have done something about Steve. I mean, you can't have someone standing there saying, you know, accusing someone else of being into little boys.
Every day you've got hassles and problems that need to be sorted out, and I've got far better things to do than to waste my time banging thick heads together every time they fall out with each other.
It is his job to make sure that no one's getting harassed in the workplace. Gus cannot let Steve get away with making comments like that, I'm sorry.
That was not only homophobic vocabulary that was being used, but also there was a clear element of dislike from the one worker to the other on the grounds of sexual orientation. It was pretty palpable when you saw it. So legally, that would comfortably fall within the definition of unlawful harassment. There's no doubt about that. It was offensive, it was degrading, it was inappropriate.
Something that often comes up as a defence for this kind of behaviour is that it was just a joke. I was only joking, it's banter. And actually that isn't an adequate defence, because banter needs to be consensual and it doesn't need to be offensive. And whilst it's not about not being allowed to have a joke, it's about showing some respect and operating in a professional way within the workplace.
It all depends very much on the way these things are said, the context in which they're said. But certainly what one person might regard as harmless banter and the sort of office jokes that people should expect may well be regarded by someone else as deeply offensive. And therefore, what matters is how that person perceives it.
By not addressing it or taking it very seriously, Gus, the manager, is effectively condoning that behaviour. And that sends out a really negative message to the rest of the workforce. It suggests that discrimination, if you report it, discrimination of any kind, probably isn't going to be dealt with very effectively.
If you've got prejudice, you need to leave it at the workplace door. You need to not bring those attitudes and opinions into work. You need to be able to work in a professional manner.
What was interesting was the response of the manager, and there are many managers, no doubt, who would respond in that way, which is just go away, we've got a job to do, just get on with it. And as the person quite rightly said in that clip, that is not, you cannot respond in that way. That's not acceptable. You have to deal with it. You have an obligation to deal with it. And not just deal with it as two employees who are not getting on together. You have to deal with it as a potential case of unlawful discrimination and harassment on the grounds of sexual orientation. He had to address it as that and deal with it as that, and if necessary, take disciplinary action if that was appropriate.